You've been wondering why you're here, who I am, why I'm doing this to you. So guess. If you guess right, I'll tell you. By the old gods and the new, I swear. You win the game. If you can figure out who I am and why I'm torturing you, and I win the game if you beg me to cut off your finger. You think I'm some sort of a savage? If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. I win.
Welcome to this podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Same Shit, Different Day, the podcast.
Same shit, different day, baby. Back for another one.
Episode 35.
You already know.
We're rocking and rolling, bro.
What's going on, my guys?
Not much, man. Despite the fact that we've recently rebranded and moved off of just speaking about MMA, it has kind of been a light week in other things in the world and pop culture and other sports. But MMA is kind of hitting the ground running right now, at least the UFC for sure.
It's prime time. It's prime time for the UFC, baby.
Yeah, man. Crazy big event last week. Stacked card, back to back. Very odd to see two numbered pay-per-views back to back. I mean, this one last Saturday was free, but two numbered events back to back like that week after week is pretty odd.
Called an Abu Dhabi special.
Yeah, man. That shit was awesome too.
Yeah.
What a fucking card. Let's kick it off at the top. Glover Teixeira. Props to the man, huh?
Dan Barry's finest, huh?
Dan Barry's finest. I was telling you, bro. How many days in a row did I tell you?
You did, bro.
Right before that fight started, what were my exact words? Yo, Glover win this shit. It's going to be a nice night. He win this shit by sub. Stakes on me. I didn't follow through, but.
Stakes will still be on you one of these days.
One of these days. I didn't forget.
Right.
That's for sure. But yo, props to Glover, man. I wonder if I could swing by that gym over there and see if he's there with the belt. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, get in line.
Yeah, hopefully he's on vacation right now and he's not even bothering himself with that. But I felt sorry for Jan Blachowicz too. But when you go back and really watch it, I mean, he tapped like, I feel like that shit was instant.
Bro, you were calling it from like early in the week. You said it, man. Like he was just way too polite this fight.
I think Jan took a turn a couple fights ago where people just really started to disrespect him as a journeyman. And he took offense to that shit. And he wasn't feeling it. It started with Luke Rockhold. They thought Luke Rockhold was going to come up and get a tune-up real quick at 205. Jan put that Polish power on his chin and knocked him into fucking next week. Then fucking bitch tits Corey Anderson, after already getting a 3-round dominant decision earlier in their careers, they rematch. He puts the Polish power on him, knocks him unconscious.
Yeah.
Of course, we had the Dominic Reyes situation where everybody completely overlooked him.
Wrong.
He came in, felt disrespected, won the fucking belt by knocking him unconscious.
Right.
And then the cherry on top, which is, you know, if it doesn't end up getting back to Jan Blachowicz, he had a nice little run. You know, but Izzy Adesanya comes up. And they basically were already, they might have been having him sign posters with 2 belts on his shoulders already at that before the fight started. He didn't knock him unconscious, but he implemented the game plan and he felt disrespected. And this time, this time, it's like, oh, take this liquor. You know, and I get it. Like it's sometimes refreshing. I'm one who kind of likes the spiciness, but it's sometimes refreshing when they're just cool with each other and respectful.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it in a trajectory for Blachowicz and the way he's been going. And I felt like, if anything, he should have been, like he was saying before the Adesanya fight, I'm used to being the underdog.
Yeah, right.
Well, all of a sudden, look at this. Glover Teixeira was the legitimate only true underdog to win on the card, plus 250 almost. My brother won me like $900 just off of that finish.
Good money.
But yeah, man, Glover Teixeira brought it home to Danbury. Congratulations,
Shouts out
light
to
heavyweight
him.
champion. Do you
Word.
think Yuri Prochazka is next?
Yo, honestly, man, the way this guy's career is like downfall and then shot upwards. He's got the belt now. I don't know what to expect next for this guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he continues to go out. Yo, I tell you one thing though. Looking at this, it's a sad division ever since John Jones left.
It's a sad division when John Jones was here. Frankly, John Jones is in part. I feel like he's in part to play for that because it's always going to look sad when you know John Jones could come back and beat all of them.
Yeah.
And whenever there's a champion that like really reigns over a division for that long, Anderson Silva at middleweight, GSP at welterweight, Demetrius Johnson at flyweight, all of a sudden it's like the division looks weak because the same guy has run through them twice. Yeah, Usman not necessarily because welterweight is so stacked, but it's how it happens sometimes.
I don't want to shit on Prochazka too much, man. Fucking, he could go in there and knock Glover silly, KO in round one. It could happen.
He's very awkward. He's very awkward.
Yeah,
a lot of I could see it.
It could be that, or it could be fucking Kimura, fucking a minute 15 in on Glover's side with the awkwardness. You never know how that's going to play out. That one's a scary one for me.
I don't want to be disrespectful, and I was just all over Glover, and I appreciate the winnings, but I would be all over Yuri Prochazka in that. I think he throws some crazy shit and just creates car crashes every time they interact. And
yeah,
I don't know how hard Glover's. I mean, now he could implement the same game plan that he just did, but I think Yuri's a little younger than Blachowicz and more athletic, and he's going to move around. Like I said, create those car crashes.
I haven't seen early lines on that, but I love to see the numbers.
Yeah, I'm honestly just surprised Glover's not retiring. I figured the
right
UFC
out into the sunset on top.
Yeah, I figured
but
the
it
UFC
don't
was
happen
looking,
that way.
Right?
We say it all the time. It don't happen that way.
That's the shame about it. Because look, after all this, the run, 42 years old, you reach the pinnacle. Just hang them up. But of course, they can't do that because they just won the belt. It's not. How are you going to hang them up now? One more loss though, and he'll hang them up. And I think that might come next.
Why? Why do that, man? Right out into the sunset on top.
You got to get at least one of those pay-per-view fights where you get points as the champion.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
If you really want to ride off, fuck it.
Money bag.
Even if you take a knockout, who cares? So, Petr Yan.
That man is dangerous.
Corey Sandhagen is so game. So much respect to him.
Oh, I'm taking him second every time on any team.
Yeah, frankly, let's just put it out there now. Aljo, you better stay fake injured or whatever you do. I don't know. You better not come back because you're in trouble.
Big time.
Honestly, I take Corey Sandhagen in the rematch with Aljo too. Maybe I'm forgetting too. Maybe I'm just starting to lose. I don't know. He's really rubbing me the wrong way. But when it comes to Petr Yan, no. Petr Yan will do what you do. He don't care. He tossed Aljo around like a wrestler. He fought in the pocket with Corey Sandhagen.
Yep.
Amazing fight, but clear victory for Petr Yan. The guy is fucking unstoppable.
Clear victory. He lost round one. He started out slow. Maybe that's his game plan. Maybe that was the game plan. Test the water, see what he's about. I don't know. But he definitely lost round one. And my man put a clinic on him. And, it was a little scary. Like, yo, is he going to continue this pace, this whole fight?
Well, that's the thing. He's like fucking Michael Myers. And the starting out slow in round one, I don't know if I would say it's necessarily what he does all the time, but it's like he just prods at you. He just comes forward. And early on, like Aljo did really, if you look at it early on, Aljo had a little success and it was just gassed out, right? Because the guy just doesn't stop. Corey Sandhagen's gas tank lasted longer, but at the end of the day, it was the same thing. He just doesn't stop. And the guy looks like
he doesn't stop, and he doesn't stop hitting hard.
No, and they're fighting at 135, and he looks like he hits as hard as a welterweight, like a 170. Yeah. Straight up.
You felt those shots just looking at him.
Oh, man. Shout out to him, too. I got a lot of respect for that dude, too. And as far as I'm concerned, on this side, That is the fucking belt. I think he should have been disqualified in the Aljo fight. It should have been vacated. And him and Aljo should have rematched on Saturday night for a vacant belt. Aljo didn't make it. So at the end of the day, Sandhagen stepped in for the vacant belt, and Petr Yan's now the bantamweight champion. I mean, I don't make the rankings, but I guarantee you the majority of fans agree with that sentiment. So the Russians really showed up to Abu Dhabi for Halloween weekend and put a scare into everybody. Islam Makhachev.
Quick.
Another one bites the dust.
We had to watch highlights just because we didn't think it was going to be over that quick, man.
I tell you what, it's funny. When Dan Hooker was winning a couple fights a couple of years ago, I really couldn't stand him. And then as you guys have seen on the podcast, my narrative has changed a little bit on him. I've just grown to like him a little bit. And he just hasn't won since. I mean, well, he won that last one right before this, but like a fight that matters.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's always fighting tough guys. And I really thought he had almost a chance at being a live dog here. I loved some of the things he was saying, like burn the boats, essentially meaning like it's like some old school shit back in the day, like when the Vikings used to show up and shit, pull up at on your land and fuck it, burn the boats because we're not retreating. It's kill or be killed, and we either take over or we die here today. So he said like, oh, burn the boats, like fuck it, I'm going to Abu Dhabi. But to get diced in like 2.5 minutes in the first round on a Kimura,
nah, man.
And
I don't know, man. I heard he went out there just for the money grab, bro.
No way. Come on. I mean, maybe. I also told you though when it got announced, it's a smart play because no matter how many you lose in a row, like the UFC will not count that one against you.
Yeah. Right.
It's wiped because you stepped up. Rafael Dos Nachos again backed out. Another fucking foot bruise or something.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for that guy's ability, but he backs out like he's a fucking back out artist all day. But anyway, Islam Makhachev, he definitely secures the coach of the year for Khabib too. Just into November now, and Khabib literally is at the fucking cage where he's prepping while he's starting to turn the Kimura, and Khabib tells him like, put your foot over his head. And after he does that, he just wrenches it and it's over. And then this dude says, and Islam says in the post fight, it's basically like a cheat code having Khabib as the coach over there.
It's true, bro. Hey,
Lock it up.
Hey, LB, put the leg over.
Lock it up.
Yeah.
This is crazy too, because this card was full of Russian domination, and they weren't all Khabib's guys. I mean, you start with Petr Yan. I'm sure they're cool, but that's not a Khabib guy. And then we have the Islam. Islam, before we get off that, actually, is he ready for a top 5, ready for a title shot, or you're not in either one of those yet? You still want to see somebody maybe top 10?
No, give him somebody top 5. If he wants to, you want a quick way at that belt, give him somebody top 5.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this upcoming weekend is gonna make a big, very meaningful on that. And of course, then you have the Oliveira Dustin fight later in the year.
Yep.
But like this Gaethje-Chandler fight, depending on how that goes, because despite the fact that I seem to be the only human being, we'll get to that later with Gaethje. But Islam, I definitely think he's ready for a top 5. As far as the titles, I would just pump the brakes on that 1 second, because it's no knock against him, but I can't help but feel like he is getting a little bit of the Khabib shine off of Khabib's retirement too. It's almost like we've just intertwined these guys like they're one.
Right.
He's just starting to knock off some impressive guys. We'll see.
You can't get a title shot off Dan Hooker. Stop.
Michael Chandler did. And Michael Chandler hasn't even been in the UFC. He's been in Bellator.
Yeah, but I mean, he built that reputation from Bellator.
Yeah, but at least Islam's been here.
I think
their competition,
other than first fight,
Chandler's competition in Bellator was just a step above what Islam has done in the UFC.
Right.
But it wasn't like somebody who maybe is running through the lightweight division in the UFC. They're close. You'd be surprised. I say definitely top 5. I would say probably, depending on the damage done and how it goes, he would be a great matchup for, I think the loser of this fight. It's tough to match up a loser and a winner. They don't usually do that, but the rest of the division's kind of out there, so I don't know. I don't know who else he would go up against. I guess maybe the winner of this Saturday. But Gaethje, despite getting fucking emasculated, is going to call for a title shot. Now, if Chandler wins, after just losing, though, he just lost to Oliveira. So unless Dustin takes the belt, you could make Chandler match up against Islam. You could. If Chandler wins that fight, you could match him up against Islam. Gaethje with the Ali Abdelaziz relationship will definitely get a title shot if he wins. But Chandler wins after the Bellator hype gets deflated with Oliveira taking him out. I guarantee you force him into the Islam. So as the Russian domination continued, another non-Khabib guy, but my God, this fucking guy, whether it be 170, 185, 4 fights into the UFC, Khamzat Chimaev has a total strike. Listen to this, 252-2. There have been 2 strikes landed on him in 4 fights in the UFC in 2 different weight classes.
I want no smoke with him.
Bro, are you kidding me?
He's serious.
There
were questions on how he would react to this COVID shit, the whole shit he went through.
Yeah, I had questions about that too.
No problems on his end.
Nothing at all.
Go in there, smash face, get out of there, and get paid.
And I was really feeling Li Jiliang's energy leading up to the fight. You know how I feel about the weigh-ins and the fucking face-offs. Yeah. I was like, oh, no, my man, I don't think he really is scared. No, yeah. I don't think he even gets it most of the time. He's just like, what? And it did not matter. Straight domination. I think he's only 11-0 or something, but it's probably time to give him somebody in the top 5 as well. I guess at 170.
Get him some real competition up in there, man. Let's get him a fight.
It's almost not right to keep doing it to middle tier guys anymore because this guy is elite.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. I mean, anything can happen. Anybody could have an off day. It's the fight game. Any punch could land. This fucking guy's a savage. He's a savage. You see this guy in prison, he's gonna.
No,
he's probably gonna do things to your butt.
Oh,
yeah. He's gonna make you tell people you like it too. If you don't tell people you like it, he's gonna do it without the spit tomorrow.
Yikes!
Wow,
the guy is an animal. Stay away from him.
Yeah.
I'm getting 1-2 fights away from feeling like he's ready for a title shot.
I mean, why not? Whoever wants to fight him, because ain't nobody calling for that fight, man.
Yeah, I know. True.
Ain't nobody calling for that one.
True. We got a big welterweight contest coming up next weekend as we move on to the upcoming card, UFC 268, the MSG card. Shout out NYC. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Expensive as a bitch to get up in the building.
Of course, but definitely the weakest. Well, I don't know. How did you feel about the Nate Masvidal card? I mean, the first 2, forget it. The Conor Eddie Alvarez night, and then the one we went to where GSP, Michael Bisping, Thug Rose, and Joanna, and then TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt. Jorge Masvidal fought Wonderboy Thompson to open the card.
I feel like that's number 1, but this
Paulo Costa, Johnny Hendricks. Yeah. The one we went to, even though Conor is the first one to ever lift 2 belts in the first MSG card against Eddie Alvarez, and the rest of that card's pretty stacked too. But top to bottom, I don't think I've ever seen a card like the one we went to, the second MSG card. I mean, the return of George St. Pierre, you got a legend. Michael Bisping, another legend. Fucking Gamebred is opening the fucking card against Wonderboy.
Yeah.
Paulo Costa versus Johnny Hendricks. Before we knew Paulo was a jerk off and a fucking big fan of White Castle. That shit was stacked. But UFC 268, another stacked card. Not as stacked, not the same level as those other cards. Definitely a level below even the Jorge Nate one because we have 2 rematches at the top of the card.
Yeah.
So I think because of that alone. But this is stacked, so no time to hate. I don't want to go fucking crazy like we used to do with picks and shit like that. Just shout out some of the big ones. I had put a couple on our list, but even beyond that, I mean, Gian Vellante returns. It's another heavyweight fight, so I don't know if I love that for him.
Matt, sir, you're going to be busy. Let me tell you something. If
Chris Barnett
Volante
doesn't
cannot,
necessarily look like the
no, not at
athlete
all,
of the
man.
century either, though.
You got fucking subbed out by Big Bear, so like, just take it easy. Gian Volante better go in there and handle business.
I don't know, man. 17-13. Looked sloppy as shit at heavyweight last time. He just reminds me of Rob Gronkowski, but like a sloppier version. This move is not good for him. He was already on the verge at 205. He missed weight a couple times, and you could tell it was a struggle for him, but he needed the discipline. Giving him another 65 pounds and him basically taking as much of it as he could, it never looked good. I don't know. I don't want to even pick that one, but I'll say for the Long Island connection, Strong Island, Team Sarah, let's go, Gian
You already
Volante.
know. Word. Let's go.
Edmund Shabazian returns. That's the Ronda Rousey prospect, if you remember.
I remember.
Oh, you do remember. On a 2-fight losing streak now, though. Definitely time. I mean, Derrick Brunson and Jack Hermanson, they're not names to feel like you're the worst after it, but like that's falling off before you hit the top. So
exactly.
Even if Derrick Brunson on the run, he's on no disrespect, whatever, but get finished by Derrick Brunson and then lose to Jack the Joker. Now you're talking about falling off the cliff when you're in that 15-10 range. That's tough.
Don't sleep on Imavov, man.
No, I know. I mean, Ian Heinisch is nobody to write home about. I told you about that when Gastelum gave him a whipping, but still coming off the win, the confidence of that. Shabazian with his back against the wall. I mean, Ronda probably gets him another fight, even if he were to lose a third in a row, just off the history of like sleeping with Dana White and shit. Back in the day.
Guy over here.
Listen, if Travis Brown has something to say about it, come do something. Free smoke for your pleasure.
Free smoke. You heard?
Fuck out of here. Big ass motherfucker. We got Al, the real estate Iaquinta. Mr. Everyman does his own podcast, interviews guys who choke out Dylan Dennis in front of bars. Okay, whatever. Iaquinta against the man, Bobby Green. I feel like this fight happened before or was scheduled. No, I guess I'm wrong. Like, why do I feel like these two dudes have fought before?
Nah, I don't remember these two ever fighting or ever being scheduled to fight. But I know Bobby Green better make it past the fucking weigh-ins. I want to see my man Iaquinta.
Look, I mean, Bobby Green's on a 2-fight losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we love Raging Al, after the glorified tough thing he did against Khabib, getting fucking 50-43 just because he didn't get finished, he comes back, he beats Kevin Lee, which is about as good as beating a bantamweight female.
I know how you feel about him.
Loses to Donald Cerrone, loses to Dan Hooker. Yeah. Shit, this doesn't count for the UFC, but and it was by escape time. But he even lost his last grappling bout against Mike Perry. I didn't put that on the rundown, but I'm glad I saw that. Little side note. Friend of the show, man. Now part of the BKFC Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to pop up as a graphic on this pod a picture of what Mike Perry looked like against Vicente Luque with UFC gloves on. No disrespect to the man. That's my boy, but I just could imagine what this guy's face is going to look like after the first, because these bare knuckle shits, forget it. The reason, Joe Rogan for years used to be like, why do they fight with these fucking bullshit gloves? Like, this doesn't just go bare knuckle. And then recently in the, rise of this, he watched a couple and was like, God, I get it now, because it's basically like Edward Scissorhands versus Freddy Krueger in every single fight. These knuckles all fucking skin, all that scar tissue from all these years of fighting, because everybody there is washed and they're fucking, and they just rip each other's face apart like they're fucking, it's a horror movie.
Savages.
Yeah, man. Mike Perry. Hopefully he does well over there, though. I like to see him win a fucking belt. Another friend of the show, a guy I met a couple times back in the day, got a couple autographs from him. Frankie Edgar returns to the cage against Chito Vera.
NYC, he gets to do it, man. I hate to say it.
It is the Garden. He fought Jeremy Stevens at 205. the Connor Eddie card. Got knocked silly against Corey Sandhagen in his last one. He's taking a little time off. That was back in February. I don't think it's enough time. He won a split decision over Pedro Munoz before that. Got knocked unconscious by Korean Zombie. You know Frankie's my man. You know I'm going Frankie Edgar all day. Fuck Chito Vera. I don't give a fuck about that guy.
You follow your heart. I feel it.
It's Frankie all day, man. I want to see him retire really sooner than later. It'd be great if he
he's going to.
Oh, shut the
fuck. He's just going to take him like 10 or 15 minutes after, he realizes he's in the octagon on the ground.
Fuck you. It better not happen. Yo, I moved too quickly. Glad to know you're going Chito Vera, though. Another fight to keep an eye on. To end the prelims, main eventing the prelims, actually, which tells you something, at least from the card I'm looking at. I'm surprised that actually it might be Iaquinta Bobby Green, and this may just be wrong, but the debut of Alex Pereira, the kickboxing sensation, who is the only guy to knock Israel Adesanya unconscious in a combat sports fight. Knocked him stupid. In kickboxing, he's 3-1 in MMA. The UFC recently signed him. And if he really does main event this prelims, that tells you everything you need to know. Yep. Is he starting to run out of people in the middleweight division? It won't take too many. And this guy is a killer striker. You got to avoid the Derrick Brunsons and shit for now, in my personal opinion. I don't know. Maybe he proved me wrong, but I would assume after all the kickboxing for many years that the wrestling takedown defense is not fantastic. So you don't want a guy to fucking leg hump him if you really want to get him to Izzy. Okay. If he gets to Izzy, all the dynamic striking you see Izzy do, this will be one for the ages because he KO'd him stiff in kickboxing. It's actually what led to Izzy heading towards the MMA game.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira, keep an eye on that.
Word.
Only 3-1, fighting a guy 13-4, but he's a minus 255 favorite for what I'm seeing right now.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Shane Burgos returns to fight Billy Quarantillo. Hopefully Shane Burgos' soul has come back from that time against Edson Barboza, was it? Who punched him. He fell like 6 feet back, and then all of a sudden his body left. It was over. Yeah. That should be a banger at 145. Just wanted to give them a quick shout out. Shane Burgos was scrapped though. Don't get it twisted. I mean, that reaction you saw that night was probably a testament to how tough he is. His brain said, "Nah, fuck that." But then like 5 seconds later, his body was like, "Oh no, you don't understand." Click, turn the lights on. But anyway, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler.
Your boy.
I've been wanting to talk about Justin Gaethje for a while. I'm glad he's finally signed a fight deal.
True.
I'm a big Justin Gaethje fan, always was. I told you about him when he was in the World Series of Fighting. He is a great fighter. Don't get it twisted. But man, do I fucking hate when guys like all of a sudden the talking and the not even like self-belief. I'm all for self-belief, but it's like, remember when Alexander Gustafsson fucking shooed away at been offering Anthony Johnson a fight because he didn't deserve it? Why? Because you thought you beat John Jones, but you didn't. You lost 3 rounds to 2 clearly. And you just made a whole career out of that as the guy who took John Jones to the limit.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And now but Justin Gaethje so far fucking off the fucking reservation. He didn't take Khabib to the limit. Justin Gaethje. You have spent the last fucking 9 months not fighting, telling people this is some bullshit. You deserve title fights. You deserve this and that. Who at first you weren't even looking to take this Michael Chandler fight because why do you have to take this?
True.
Sorry, did I miss something? Has he fought since the emasculation in Abu Dhabi? that Khabib did to him, Khabib's legs are fucking stubby as shit. He triangled them because he didn't want to break his arm in front of his parents.
Bro.
This is
So
October
vicious.
2020. We're past a year.
Yep.
And that's your last fight. How dare you have the balls? You didn't even take Khabib to the limit to say, yeah, well, I'm definitely the next best guy. You need to get in there and fight.
Did, though. He got paid like he did, though. So his mental's a little fucked up.
I'm sorry to say it because I've always been a Gaethje fan. Chandler as well. I'm going Michael Chandler all the way on this. I hate guys who, like I said, it's like a culminate. Like you just think you're next.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like you, like yo, let's run. Like I love Justin Gaethje, but I'm gonna have to bring my man back down to fucking earth. Let's run down his UFC resume real quick. Okay, he shows up in 2017, KO's Michael Johnson. Well, we know what Michael Johnson is now, right?
Yeah.
KO's Michael Johnson in the second round. And let me tell you, go back and watch that. Michael Johnson rocked the fuck out of him in the first round, too. That was a scrap. Fight of the night. Yeah. Next, fight of the night again, but gets KO with knees in the third round by Eddie Alvarez.
Yep.
Next fight, KO'd in the fourth round against Dustin Poirier. Okay. Then he proceeds to KO James Vick. Nice bounce back, but James Vick, garbage.
No,
absolute garbage.
Yes.
Comes back, KO's Edson Barboza. Edson's made a nice run back at 145. True. But we know where Edson was at this point at 155. Just basically a fucking, he was a nail, and every fighter that lined up against him was the hammer. Next, KO's Donald Cerrone. Next, takes to the fifth round, but beats the shit out of Tony Ferguson. But look where Tony is now. Then gets triangled in the second round against Khabib Nurmagomedov, who might be fucking 5'9", 5'8". Yeah. Triangled. He needs to wrap the fucking right leg around the back of your neck. The left leg needs to lock with it. I didn't even know he could do triangles. If he Kimuras him, chokes him all day. But says, no, I while I was beating the shit out of you, I noticed your two parents were sitting there in the front seat, and I didn't want to break your arm. Yeah. So I just triangled you so you could go to sleep real quick. Oh my God. Disrespectful.
Savage as shit.
So what kind of resume is that really? You know what I mean? And let's not get it twisted. Before that Michael Johnson fight, like I said, he was in World Series of Fighting, and I had respect for him, but he's fighting guys like Luis Firmino, Brian Foster, Luis Palomino twice in a row, KOing him both times. Richard Patashnak, Brian Cobb, Jasius Cavalcante, Adrian, who the fuck, you know? So why don't you just pump the fucking brakes before you think since Khabib is retired, you have some nerve to be talking shit to Conor McGregor like he has balls requesting these fights. His resume is deeper than yours, and let's not forget the money he brings in. I'm going Michael Chandler all day, and Justin Gaethje, I hope you get fucking knocked unconscious back to earth. And then I hope you come back successful after that. As far as this one goes, you need some humbling, son.
There we go.
The rematch, the first rematch of the night, the co-main event for the 115 Women's Championship, the strawweight championship of the world. Thug Rose against your girl, Weili Zhang. Let's not forget when this misogynistic pig talks mad shit about Thug Rose last time because she cried in the octagon afterwards. Yep. And then let's also not forget there may be lives at stake here. Now, maybe Weili Zhang chose that hairstyle herself. Maybe it was bestowed upon her while she knelt on rice, paying her debts for losing that last
What
fight.
the fuck is wrong with you fucking assholes?
Comedy style. But maybe not.
That's racist.
Weili Zhang is a great fighter, right? But Thug Rose is different. When Thug Rose is motivated, I told you, there's nobody in this division who could beat her. The reason is because her jiu-jitsu is elite. Her scramble game is top notch. Her striking is unreal. Yeah. And her range. The thing is, like, Weili Zhang is stocky and powerful. Mm-hmm. But Thug Rose is too long. That's why that head kick came out of nowhere. It's like Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali, with all due respect to those greats. But body style wise, Weili Zhang is that Mike Tyson stocky hooks, uppercuts inside. But Rose has got the distance. Like if Muhammad Ali had ever fought Tyson, that's all you would have saw was that fucking jab distance. Too much.
Yeah.
I just think Doug Rose gets it done again. Possibly very similar. Maybe on a scramble this time. Because I just think Weili Zhang's got to come in with some type of different game plan. And I see she's been training with Henry Cejudo. So that tells me everything I need to know. It's all lining up. She's going to use that strength to try to get inside and take her down. Where she might be fucking up is, though, Doug Rose, throw them legs around you, armbar the fuck out you.
Yeah, this fight scares the shit out of me. I'm not touching this. I learned my lesson from the first time. I told you, bro, we went back, we watched the highlight. And yeah, man, so I was throwing a lot of shade her way. But, yo, you lose some money that night, you'll throw a little bit of shade, too. You know what I mean?
Yo, the odds are even right now.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Let me sign off this podcast so I can fucking get on my account before it gets too late. Oh, there's some juicies this weekend, bro.
Oh, yeah. That I know. Yes,
Michael Chandler is an underdog. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going Thug Rose all day. I really like Weili Zhang. I think next for her after this will probably be the rematch against Joanna in a title eliminator to see who really goes to the back of the line after this.
Against who?
Joanna. They had a crazy scrap, and frankly, I would have liked to see the judge's opinion if she didn't make her look like one of the Bob's Burger characters.
She is not doing that anymore, bro. She is a full-fledged model.
I know, but she also kind of looks like the fucking
look that way again.
Yeah, but she
Puma will not allow that.
Even without the swelling, she kind of you do one of these, she kind of looked already like one of the aliens from the movie Alien vs. Predator.
Nah, she's killing it.
And then after the swelling, forget it. It was full birth.
Mm-hmm.
Main event of MSG: Kamaru Usman against Colby Covington.
Well-deserved rematch. I'll say that.
I have a proposition for you. The whole time we've been doing this 35 episodes, we've been going back and forth with picks all year. We've kind of walked away from it. I don't have the official numbers, but things were awfully close. Awfully close. I can get them for us if we wanted to, but how about this? All or nothing. I take Colby Covington. You take Kamaru Usman. The winner of this gets awarded the Same Shit, Different Day podcast picks championship belt. We go half on it either way. No matter who wins, we go half on it. It ends up coming out to like $100. So
what makes you think I'm picking Kamaru? Is it because I'm black?
Wow.
Gross. You nasty.
Wow. You think you're scaring me? I don't give a fuck. No, because you talk mad shit that Kamaru was gonna fucking win this fight for months ago. Every time I told you they need to redo this. And I frankly think the reason I'm doing this is because while it got much closer, like after we go back to the baseball divisions, neither one of us hit many, but I got the Rays and, there wasn't much else between us really after that. But I feel like you still were, if I had to make a guess, that, and also remember we did 10 on the Bucks versus the Suns. Like a 10-point spread on the finals. I got that one too. So it was definitely starting to get a lot closer. But I do feel like you probably still had the lead. So Kamaru is a minus 310 favorite. With obviously we can't put any points on it or anything like that. Like give you the 3-1 favorite who's obviously been dominating. I'm taking who's already broken the jaw and knocked out the fucking opponent that he's fighting against.
Yeah.
And we just go half
trap game, but
if you don't want to do it, we could do it on something else. But I figured it was a good way to I kind of want to get that belt in circulation,
right.
I kind of want to do that. And maybe we could have another season of going back to the picks or, whatever it may be and transfer back and forth or whatever. But I think we should get it anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah.
For when we eventually start doing these pods in our studio, we need something to prop up.
Right behind
Yeah.
me.
I'm going Colby. You know, white power. Kamaru, fake newsman, is a fraud. He's from Nebraska. He's from Nebraska.
Fraud.
Stand up Nebraska. Stand up Nigeria. Let's go Kamaru.
Yeah, you know what I understand about the Nigerian group of fighters? Fuck it. I'll say it. I don't care. Like, really, look at the three of them, right? So we got Francis Ngannou, who's from Nigeria, but actually grew up in France and now fights out of the UFC PI in Vegas. Okay. Then we got Israel Adesanya, who's Nigerian, but grew up in New Zealand.
Represent New Zealand.
And is now moving to the US. And then we got Kamaru Usman, who never saw Nigeria in real life person until he started painting his face green. And it became cool when Francis Ngannou started knocking people out and Israel Adesanya started knocking people out. He grew up in America, in Nebraska. He wouldn't even make people call him Kamaru. He let people call him Marty. And all three of them are like representing this Nigerian pride thing where like not actually one of them. I think Francis is like the most legit from Nigeria. Izzy is Nigerian, but grew up in New Zealand. Born, raised. I don't care about none of that. And Kamaru, he's more American than me. Forget it.
Yo, I ain't even trying to hear all that. Yo, we've been here before. We get the Kamaru hate, and then on next Monday, it'll be, gotta put some respect on his name. He's gonna end this one early and make it definitive.
Oh, we're definitely doing this for the belt.
Definitive.
I'm gonna start looking into it. I'll send you an invoice for the half.
Send it. You already know.
Let's fucking do it, yo. Listen, you're right. I've had to fucking come hat in hand every single time. When he beat Jorge the first time, I felt like disrespecting him even worse. But when he bounced back against Gilbert Burns, I was like, okay, he proved some grit there. He got rocked bad, and he stayed in it and just toughed it out. When he took Jorge's soul, that's like top 5, one of the most shocking outcomes I've ever seen. That's right there with Connor Aldo, Amanda Cyborg.
Yep.
Below those two, but like right now, I thought Kamaru would beat him, but like a fucking right hand that Jorge woke up saying, who? What? I mean, him and Weili Zhang. Who? Where? What? Yep. No, that didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen.
Yes, it did. Plus, I do think this was the toughest fight of his run against Colby the first time. And I think they are 1 and 1A. And I could just see Colby getting it this time. They have to do a trilogy. And Colby being like, nah, fuck you. I'm actually going to fight Street Judas Masvidal like you did twice instead of fighting me. And Jorge Masvidal fucking lucks himself into a fucking another championship fight somehow. Plus, if you're Colby Covington, you sell more pay-per-views. You could beat the shit out of Jorge Masvidal. The wrestling game will just dominate him for 5 rounds. And then the Kamaru fucking rematch is there anyway. I could just see it. I'm going Colby Chaos Covington. Despite that the stick is really jerk-offy. That's the rebrand. We getting spicy. I don't give a fuck. Happy Halloween. Trick or treat.
We set.
Before we roll out of here, let's run a quick segment. Love it or hate it. The NBA dropped their City Edition jerseys today. Did you see them?
I did. There's quite a few I would cop. I mean, not all of them. Some of them are quite simple, but I think my favorite one in there might be Golden State. Maybe Raptors one was nice.
Not for nothing. I'm no Drake stan or whatever, but I actually thought that gold one. If you get any of the fucking OVO Jordans, that Toronto. I'm not big on. I wouldn't wear a jersey from another team, but like that Toronto shit was hard. I love the Knicks one too, though.
Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about the Knicks one. I like that Utah Jazz one. That one was kind of fire.
You don't like I like the Knicks because I like the black. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's It don't pop like the other ones.
The Toronto
That
one is
Suns one-
definitely fire.
Yo, that Magic one is fire.
What are you fucking
Color scheme with the
this
fucking
guy?
Disney
This guy
patch.
definitely listens to
What?
fucking Little Uzi Vert. That's how you know right there.
Yeah, that Miami one's
I
type
think
fire.
I think the Rocket one's kind of hard. I like the Houston one. It kind of looks like the old
It's the
jerseys they used to
throwback.
have.
Yeah, it's the little throwback design. That
Um,
Golden State one is fire too, though.
I think the Toronto one may be the best one. I love the Nick one. I think the Nick one's top 3 here.
Really?
I like the Wolves one. That one's not bad.
Like
Clippers powder
the
blue
Nick
joint is
one
nice.
is just a Halloween jersey.
Yeah, but that shit is hard. I like the black and orange. Those are badass. They
But
should wear
they
those in
had
games.
those before.
Not for nothing. The Laker purple one's not bad.
Yeah,
The Nets look like the New York Nets,
I don't like
but they're
that
not.
one.
They're New Jersey. I think the
Yo, the
Toronto
Spurs
one wins.
looks like a straight Dolphins jersey.
Yeah. How about the Miami one? Looks like fucking
I love
Son of
that
Sam sent a fucking letter to the fucking newspaper
Fuck yeah, I love
talking
that
about
one,
the
bro.
next murder he's gonna do. Why is it done in like serial killer cutout magazine lettering?
Yeah,
Of course you do. You love the Magic and the Miami one. This guy. This guy wasn't born in the 80s like the rest of us. He's one of these young boys. That's it. My man's back hurts more than these young boys' fathers, but somehow he's one of these young boys.
Yes,
The Washington joint kind of looks like the Bullets.
I don't like that shit.
I say the Raptor one's probably the hardest one here.
True.
I like the Knicks one. I like Rip City ain't bad. I like the Wolves, the Clippers, Houston. The Lakers shit is kind of weird. Like why you just took Sacramento's colors and shit.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
My top 3, I'm going Raptors, Magic, Golden State.
Golden State. Oh, the Golden State one is hard, but not the Knick one. Do you know you're from New York? What? It's just a black jersey with a fucking yellow circle.
The other one is fucking, and they got the Thunderbolts on the side, my nigga. Come on, man.
What are you fucking? Oh my god! All right.
And the Knick one just looks like a straight up Halloween jersey, Halloween night jerseys, man.
All right. So overall, though, love it or hate it? Because
I love it. I love the idea. It's just another way to make a little bit more money, but I love it.
So I hate it for the same reason. First off, I don't think there's enough good ones. That's usually how I judge
You
these
just
things.
named off mad good ones.
Nah,
you
are you
like.
kidding me, bro? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 30 jerseys. I named like 5 or 6 I like. The NBA does this shit every year just so they could sell more fucking jerseys. And you know what? I'm all for a variation.
I heard a couple more than 6.
And I'll give you even the ones that were a little bit of a stretch. Houston, Rip City, Toronto, Clippers, Wolves, Knicks. That's 6. Like the Celtics, what is that? Just a different green? What the fuck? The Bucks? There's nothing there. OKC, that shit is just white. Tell me what's different about that and the Pelicans' actual jersey. You know, the Pacers, your regular jersey is boring. Why would you just make another boring one? What is that Cleveland? I guess. Yeah, that's the only team I can't see here, right? That red burgundy shit with a yellow circle in the center, which I can't even see.
That's that Cleveland shit.
Terrible. The Atlanta shit ain't terrible, but I don't know. The Spurs, like what the fuck? Utah, I've seen that shit. That looked just like the other jerseys. Dallas used to have the same joint, just all white. The Charlotte one's all right. Denver shit is weird. Golden State's is boring. Sacramento's bored. The Sixers, what? What is that? What's the Guitar Hero buttons on the side of the shit for? Shit is trash, bro. And if y'all gonna do this every year to fucking grab $100 from people every year, make some shits that are official. And I'm happy that my own team, I like it. I may even get one. I'm looking for a Julius Randle, but I hate it overall.
How you gonna straight talk shit about it and then go cop one? Get out of here, man. You love it.
That's what's called being a fan.
You love it.
I don't hear you going to get a Nets one. It's because they keep plummeting in the standings, right?
I may go get a Klay Thompson one, you heard?
What? Oh my God, whatever.
Fraud.
Love it or hate it. Next one. The new foul rule. Now, as a Nets fan, you might hate it. But I got to say, as a basketball fan, I fucking love it.
I love it too, man. Let's play ball, man.
Right? Like,
I don't give a fuck about the foul line. Yeah, man. You got to bring back some of that bully ball.
Yeah, fucking right, yo. And I get that you can't go too far out of control. You can't go back to the like Charles Oakley 90s and shit where you clothesline at people coming to the lane. But I mean, like I said, it's a domino effect because if you know James Harden's kicking his leg out on you, you got to step a foot back when you guard him. You can't keep your hands anywhere near him because he's going to throw his arms up and hook your shits to get a foul. Now you could play standard defense and no, he can't just sucker you into a call.
Right.
And you can see it throughout the league, though. I mean, there's a lot of people like Dame Lillard's under 20 points a game. A lot of people are. I mean, Trae Young's still doing well, but James Harden's under 20 points a game.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of look crazy, but I love it. The league seems more competitive, even though we got these super teams out there still. It just seems more competitive. Every night seems more like you could play a little bit harder, and it gives everybody more of a chance. Because think about it. Think about the games just from last year and the couple of years before it. You're already outgunned like a motherfucker when you're playing a team that has Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden.
Yeah.
Or LeBron James, Anthony Davis, because LeBron's another one flopping, falling all around the place. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis, you could sneeze on him and tear his ACL. So,
True
but like,
story.
you get back for these last couple of years, you go up against teams like that, and you're like, all right, they're already fucking generationally great with skill. But now I can't even go near. I can't even have a late 90s or mid 90s Knicks team who's like maybe not the most skilled and athletic, but is gritty. We're going to make you work for it. You can't even have those teams anymore. We're outgunned and we can't guard you. This is crazy.
It's true.
I love it. Love it.
So true.
I think the league is awesome right now. And my Knicks are killing it.
I can't say nothing about that.
It's early still. I'm not delusional. But yeah, 6 games in.
They're playing good ball.
Yeah, man. I wanted to run a couple NFL points by you before we get out of here. Derrick Henry, you see this shit?
I didn't see the injury yet. Kind of busy today. I heard about it. Major fucking blow.
My man was having a fucking record-setting year. I feel sorry for him. He's a big dude, too. That's going to be tough. It's these running backs, man. You get like, even the greats nowadays get like a 3-4 year run.
Short shelf life, bro.
Yeah. And then by then, all of a sudden, you're backing up fucking somebody in Atlanta. All of a sudden, you're like, what the hell happened? But I feel so. Jameis Winston, too, which is souring my fantasy football plan a little bit. I had stashed Michael Thomas at the draft, hoping that when he eventually comes back, if I could make it to the playoffs or something and he comes back, with all due respect to Drew Brees, the one thing that guy's been missing for the last couple of years is somebody who could throw the ball 70 fucking yards and let him just dust the cornerback. Yeah. And now Jameis is out for the year.
Yep.
And this idiot's dancing with crutches on yesterday after the game because they beat the fucking Bucks. I mean, those injuries are majorly affecting this season for sure, though. I want to like that. Gronk still, he left the game again yesterday, and the Pats are going to need all their weapons. The Packers are looking, the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks.
the Packers are looking strong again. They've won 7 in a row.
Yep.
And then, what the fuck is going on with the Chiefs?
We'll see tonight.
Well, look, I mean, 2 schools of thought for tonight. As a Giant fan, die hard, but an honest one. This could be the game that gets, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm like, this is the one we get back into, this team's not talented enough to beat us.
Right.
We're in 2 different leagues with talent right now.
Yep.
We don't even have Saquon healthy. We don't even have all of our receivers healthy.
True.
Evan Ingram's probably about to get traded before the deadline. The defense is banged up, but 2-5. If you're the Chiefs, you're like, this is where we get back on. Let's have a confidence building, fucking 48-7 domination. They've looked so suspect.
I don't think they scored only 7, bro. I think the Giants put up some numbers today.
No, I don't think that. I'm just saying if you're the Chiefs, you're going into this game like crush them. You can't look past them because you've been so shitty lately that if I'm the Giants, this could be a season turnaround.
Yeah.
You pull off a big confidence building win against a team like the Chiefs, who's reeling and struggling right now. You have to make a couple turnovers and take advantage of them. You go to 3-5 and you go on a little bit of a run. If you remember, the Giants went on a little bit of a run at the end of last year. They just sort of ran out of games. 3-5. There's 17 games in a season now. Still plenty of year left. Monday Night Football. Have a big fucking upset victory here. Despite them reeling, it would still be an upset. And then you probably got to say that Chiefs officially suck. I don't know how or why.
I don't think we're going to get that far. But, yeah, I think you would have to say that after that.
You Chiefs all the way? What's the line on that?
10.5. Easy.
Don't be surprised. My Giants play well on primetime football.
Listen, I'm surprised about nothing. The Jets won a game yesterday that they were losing by 11.
This kid threw 400 yards.
Put some fucking respect on his name. It's Mike fucking White.
And that's the most generic fucking name I've ever heard in my life, so I will not put respect on him. Good for him. Is he the quarterback for the rest of the year? Obviously, right? Because Zach Wilson's not coming back.
He just might be.
Oh, but they just got Joey Flax.
Nah, my man can sit on the bench behind me.
All right, we've talked enough about the Jets. Fuck that Jets.
You're ready.
Fuck that Jets. Yeah, that's about it for me today. I don't know. You got anything else?
Nah, man, you already know how it is, kid. Same shit. Different day. You heard?
Episode 35.
All right, you.
Love you, brother. In the books.
Love you, kid.
Later.
Peace.
Ha 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 ha!